BFTB, best fight the best. So the thing now, what's hot, is Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. You know, shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV, Trail Boxing, Black Fight Fan TV, and 78 The General. You know what I'm saying? I watched them both. I saw all perspectives. You know, I saw Ticket going ham on that issue. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put my 2 cents in this. I don't think either one of those fighters are scared of each other. I don't think either one of them are ducking that smoke. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take my time to be objective and subjective, actually, on this entire topic. Because wherein I think Errol Spence is just a big dude, man. He's just a big guy. And 9 times out of 10, a bigger guy beats the smaller guy, which Terrence Crawford is, since he's a smaller guy coming up in weight. You know what I'm saying? So 9 times out of 10, you're going to expect the bigger guy to beat the smaller guy. But that doesn't mean that that's going to happen. That's just what you would expect. And then, you know, looking at, they say, oh, a Gamboa rock. Well, you know, I'm not even going to get into all that nonsense. Bottom line is, they both want the smoke. They both with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, who we all think can beat who is a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother issue. But they both with it. They both want whatever to happen with whatever. You know what I'm saying? They both with it. Now, here's my problem. This is the problem that I have. And this is not going to be very popular with a lot of people, man. This isn't. But I'm BFTB and I speak my mind. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I'm looking at it from a holistic perspective. This is why I like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is his own man. He is his own man. He speaks for himself. You know what I'm saying? If he likes something, then he's going to say he likes it. If he don't like it, then he's going to say he don't like it. Why? Because he's the baddest man on the planet in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? In his eyes, he's the baddest man on the planet. You know, in his eyes, in my eyes, he's the best boxer on the planet. In my eyes, he's the best boxer on the planet. The best standard boxer on earth is Tyson Fury, because he's 6'9" and he can box his ass off. That's why. Not for no other reason. You know, him beating Wilder, I don't think is going to happen. It's a whole nother story. But as the best standard boxer on the planet is Tyson Fury. But he speaks his mind. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to go looking out to find what someone's saying when it comes to Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is going to say it himself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the same problem that a lot of us have with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has no mouth. You know what I'm saying? And the shit that he does say, he fucks himself over, so they end up putting a muzzle on his ass. He can't speak for himself. You know what I'm saying? And Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua in a face-off, if them like actually doing some press or whatever, Wilder would annihilate the dude. He would annihilate the dude badly. But Tyson Fury, on the other hand, is extremely charismatic, and he has a fucking mouthpiece on him, and he can talk his way out of anything. He talked his way into this ass whooping. But whatever about that. This is about Errol Spence and about Terrence Crawford. Look, I understand what Blue Blood is saying, man. I do. You know, I fuck with Blue heavy. Everybody I just mentioned, I fuck with heavy. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't a shade video to anybody. But the bottom line is, if Terrence Crawford is saying he's about that action and he wants that work with Errol Spence, I want to hear him say it. I want to hear him say it. This is me. I want to hear him say it. If that's not how he works, I mean, fine, that's not how he works. You know what I'm saying? But in all honesty, I've heard him say things that lead to it, but I've never heard Terrence Crawford say, I want to fight Errol Spence next. I want Errol Spence next. I've never heard him say that. Now, I could have missed it, but I don't recall him ever saying that. I recall him saying, yeah, you know, I mean, the people that y'all think is going to be the hardest ends up being the easiest. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We never know. I remember him saying that. I remember him saying, you know, I want all the big fights. I'll make it happen. You know, I heard him say that. I remember him saying, I've never recalled, and I'll go back and look at this. And it's, again, this is no shade or hate to Terrence, Errol, or anybody. Shit, I love them all. You know what I'm saying? Both of them. They are about what I'm about. The best fighting the best. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to point out some things, my perspective on this. And I've never heard Terrence Crawford say, I want Errol Spence next. I want Errol Spence. I want Errol Spence now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why like I said, it's the reason why I like Tyson Fury so much, because Tyson Fury will say, no, this dude's a big dosser. He's a big dosser. Like, no, I'm knocking him out. This is who I want. He's a bum. This dude's a bum. I'm knocking him out. I want him. He's a bum. Tyson Fury will say, why do I want to fight Dillian White? You know, I beat Chisora twice, and Chisora arguably beat Dillian White. So why do I want to fight people that left her? I don't want them. I want champions. And if I can't beat the champions, then I'm a bum myself. I want the two guys that are champions. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? That's why I fuck with Tyson Fury like that. That's why I fuck with other fighters like that too. But the things that I'm hesitant about is I'm hesitant with Terrence Crawford not specifically calling out Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? I'm hesitant there. I am, because he specifically called out Keith Thurman. He has specifically called out Keith Thurman, specifically. You know, I've never specifically heard him call out Errol Spence. I've never heard him say, I want Errol Spence next. You know, that's who I want to fight. I want him. And then, you know, the Sean Porter thing is like that they're friends, so it's like this weird shit going on there. It's like, bro, like, the man's got a title. But then on the flip side, I've never heard Errol Spence call out Terrence Crawford for a fight next. I've never heard it. Never heard it. And I'm not saying he didn't. I could have missed it. But I've never heard Errol Spence say, I want Terrence Crawford next. No, we want Terrence Crawford now. We want all the... It's strap season. I want all the belts. Strap season ain't next season. You know what I'm saying? Strap season is now. I have heard Errol Spence say, I'll clean up my side, you clean up your side, and then we can make that fight happen. I have heard that. You know what I'm saying? I have heard Errol Spence say, you know, I'll just beat him up. I have heard that. But I've never heard these guys, these fighters, these killers, I've never heard them specifically call each other out. Specifically. I've never heard Errol Spence just say, look, Terrence Crawford, you got a belt. I want it. Period. What's up? I've never heard that. I have heard Errol Spence say, well, Terrence Crawford, when he gets a belt, when he fight Jeff Horn, he get a belt, then, you know, we can make that fight happen. I have heard him say that. But I've never heard him say, after that, I've never heard him say, Terrence Crawford, you beat Jeff Horn. You got the WBO title. I want undisputed. You got what I want. When can we make this fight happen? I saw Errol Spence get in the ring with Sean Porter and say, Sean Porter, you called out Danny Garcia. Now, just like you called out Danny Garcia, I'm calling you out. I want this fight. I've seen that. So then that means then I can expect Errol Spence to get in the ring after the Benavidez fight and say, Terrence Crawford, you got the WBO title. You got a belt that I want. I want it. What's up? I mean, am I setting the bar too high for asking for these expectations? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if you can do it for Sean Porter, then you can do it for Errol Spence. They both got one belt. You want all the belts. They both have one of the belts. So if you call out Sean Porter, if you got in the ring with Sean Porter, then I'm expecting Errol Spence to get in the ring with Terrence Crawford. I'm expecting that action. Because now, again, I understand what they want to do. You know, they want them to have a mega fight for Undisputed, you know, and it'll probably business savvy. It'll be business savvy for Errol Spence to fight Sean Porter, and you know, then they unify the 2 belts there, and then perhaps Keith Thurman to fight Terrence Crawford, and then they have those 2 belts, and then the winner of those 2 fights fight for all 4 belts. It makes perfect sense, business sense to do that. And being that 3 of the 4 champions are on the PBC with Al Heyman, I understand what the truth is talking about. With Free Smoke, I understand what Free Smoke is talking about. I get it. I'm not stupid. I understand that. But to Blue Blood's point, Errol said he wants all the belts. So it doesn't matter what season it is. You know what I'm saying? Summer, fall, spring, winter. It doesn't matter what season it is. It's strap season. You got a belt, I want it. It doesn't matter what season it is. It doesn't matter which side of the street you're on. It doesn't matter what side of the block you're on. It doesn't matter what state you're from. It doesn't matter none of that. Free Smoke wants all the belts. So to Blue's point, I understand him completely. You know what I'm saying? If you want all the belts, that dude got a belt. Go get it. And I'm not saying he can't get it, or I'm not saying he can get it. I'm not saying that. That's not the point of this video. The point is that if the Truth wants all the belts and Bud got one of the belts, then the Truth got to get that belt. You know what I'm saying? There's no shade to nobody. That's just a factual statement. That is a factual statement. If he wants all 4 of the belts, one of them is with Terrence Bud Crawford right now, so he's got to go get it eventually. Now, from what the conversation was on that phone call, it seems as if Terrence is saying, because we can only insinuate, because Terrence didn't say it out of his own mouth, but it seems as if Terrence is fed up or got pissed off with what was said about him, you know, or towards his direction, you know, in that presser. So, you know, he's like, well, fuck it, let's do it now then. It seems as if, and this is an opinion based on the facts that have already happened in the past. It seems as if they've already had some type of communication where, you know, they were going to fight maybe at the end of next year after trying to unify some belts, which is based on the things that have happened, you know, based on what has been said and done. The fact that Free Smoke, you know what I'm saying, the fact that Free Smoke got in the ring and has been prominently calling out Sean Porter, you know, for a unification fight. It seems as if perhaps, again, I don't know this for a fact. I don't know this. I'm just basing it off the facts that have already happened. It seems as if, like I said, they are in the works behind the scenes that we don't know, in trying to have other fights, you know, other unifications, and then the culmination, you know, the cherry on the top is them fighting each other at the end of next year, perhaps. But with the current events and the recent rhetoric that's been going on, it seems as if Bud just said, oh, well, you know, the plans was to fight at the end of next year, but now you mentioned my name and you talking about this, well, fuck it, let's do it now. That's what it seems like. That's the perception that I got. That is the perception. That I have no proof of that. I'm just saying that is the perception based on the facts that have already happened. It seems like perhaps like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford have either they themselves have talked, or either they themselves have talked, or their teams have talked, and they've come up with a conclusion that they will fight, you know, later on at the end of next year or something like that. And that's why they are hesitant themselves. Both of them are hesitant themselves for calling out a fight now, for right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't seen either one of them call each other out for a fight next, right now. I have never seen that until recently, until just now, with Terrence Crawford talking about, well, after my fight, you don't got no fight, so then we can fight. And I don't know if it was those were the exact words, but, you know, that's secondhand, where I haven't read the article yet. But that's what it seems like Terrence Crawford is now saying. You know what I'm saying? It seems like he's like bumped the plans that we discussed about, fighting towards the end of next year. No, you are mentioning my name. You are going outside of what we discussed. So now I want to fight now. That's what it seems like. That is the perception. The perception is Terrence wants that work now. Whereas Errol is trying to build the fight a little bit, or build it more, not a little bit, because it is built already, but he's trying to build it more to maximize the dollar, since he has no promoter, and he's going to benefit more. The higher the dollar value is, he's going to benefit more for himself. Not for Terrence, because Terrence is going to benefit. His benefits are already set, because he's in the old way where they pay the promoter and then the fighter gets paid from the promoter. Whereas Errol is in the new way where they pay the fighter and the fighter pays who promotes his fight. That's where Errol's at. So they're two different errors when it comes to the business side. And it seems like with this model, with the new model, it's like Terrence can fight now. His paycheck is going to be his paycheck. But if Spence builds it more and they fight towards the end of next year in a mega undisputed fight, then Spence is set to make more off of the new model, off of today's model, off of the Heyman model. The model that's good for the fighters. Not to say that the old model isn't good for the fighters, but in the old model, the money doesn't go to the fighter's hands first. It goes to the promoter's hands first, and then the promoter pays the fighter, versus going to the fighter's hand first and the fighter paying the promoter. But that's neither here nor there. This is all speculation. Now, the only facts that I have, the only facts that I can speak on, is the fact that I've yet to hear either one of them calling each other out for a fight next. One, I've yet to hear Spence go after Terrence and say, you got a belt, you got the WBO belt, I want it. What's up? We fighting next. What's up? This is free smoke and anybody can get it. I've yet to hear Errol say that. I've yet to hear Terrence come out and say, Errol is easy work. You know what I'm saying? I want it. I want all the belts. He's got a belt. Terrence Crawford, I've never heard Terrence Crawford say, I want all the belts. Errol Spence got a belt. I want Errol Spence next. I've never heard him say that. I've heard him say, I want all the belts. But it's like they select their words carefully. Which is why I fuck with Tyson Fury, because he doesn't. Which is why I fuck with Deontay Wilder, because he doesn't. They're just like, I want this guy, I want that guy. I'm not gonna say no, and I'm not gonna mention no names. No. There's 4 champions. If all four belts had their own individual champion, there would be 4 different champions. Well, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury will be like, I want that guy. I want him. He's got a belt. I want him. Whereas with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and don't get it fucked up, I love them both. This is not a disrespect video at all. This is just to point out the facts based on speculation. Point out the speculation based on facts. That's what this video is. I want the fight to happen. I don't see why it can't happen right now. It can happen. It'll be very lucrative for all parties involved. Now, to Spence's point of view, it'll probably be more lucrative towards the end of next year, where they'll have where it will be built, and it'll potentially be, if not a undisputed, then a damn sure a unification with perhaps 3 belts, perhaps. And just the last belt with Keith Thurman out there, because I don't see Keith Thurman fighting anybody no time soon at all. So it could potentially be a huge 3-belt undisputed fight between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And that's probably what Errol is looking at with Free Smoke. He's probably looking at to maximize that potential dollar, because the fight's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because both of these fighters want it. Now it's just about maximizing the dollar, which again leads me to my speculation that these guys have already talked. They've already come to the conclusion that they're going to fight towards the end of next year, maybe the beginning of 2020, to be honest. Maybe the beginning of that. It's like the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, they'll probably be set to fight each other in a mega undisputed fight potentially. And then that's and ideally from a man of Free Smoke's perspective, where, you know, he's not his own boss, but he is his own boss. You know what I'm saying? He's not, but he is. And he's looking to maximize his dollar. And then from Bud's perspective, Bud is like, hey, I'm getting bread already. You know what I'm saying? My bread is solidified. So whenever you want to make this happen, we can make it happen. I mean, so it's not like neither one of them are ducking. But this I can see where this could legitimately be a business decision versus anyone trying to duck anyone for anything type thing. But that's my thoughts on this, man. BFTB, and I'm out.